So here comes Dylan Gabriel, a name that fans didn't expect to see, making waves in Cleveland. But suddenly, he's standing in the spotlight after Joe Flacco's disastrous outing against Detroit. Gabriel finished third in the Heisman Trophy balloting back in college. And that's not nothing. It speaks to his skill, his drive, and the promise he showed. But when he was thrown into the game after Flacco's collapse, the situation was already a mess. The Browns were floundering, the crowd was restless, and the moment begged for a spark. And yet, the coaching staff made a puzzling decision. Instead of turning to the young and hungry Shador Sanders, they handed the reins to Gabriel. For Sanders, the frustration was impossible to hide. He's been biding his time, waiting for his opportunity, knowing he has the tools to succeed in this league. But as he watched from the sidelines, he couldn't help but feel that his chance was being stolen from him, not because of merit, not because of skill, but because of politics and bias inside the organization. The irony of it all was too much to ignore. Here was Dylan Gabriel, a rookie who had accomplished far less than Shedeur, being handed snaps on a silver platter while Sanders was left to stew on the bench. Shedeur has been brutally honest about how he feels. He said it himself. He looks around the league at some of the quarterbacks starting games right now, and he knows he's better than them. He knows he can play at that level, if not higher. And yet, instead of proving it on the field, he's stuck playing scout team, running practice reps that don't count for anything in the long run. For someone as competitive as Sanders, that's a gut punch. When asked about it, Shedeur didn't mince words. He said, "If you look at quarterback play in the league right now, I know I'm capable of doing better than that. The best of it, I'm just enjoying myself, learning, doing everything I have to do. But overall, this isn't my end goal. I'm just ready for my opportunity." Those aren't the words of a player content with waiting. Those are the words of someone who feels like he's being robbed of his rightful shot. What makes this all the more dramatic is the ultimatum Shedeur has given the Browns. He's put management on notice: either play him or let him leave. That's a bold move for a young quarterback, but it's also a sign of how much this situation has deteriorated. He doesn't want to rot on the bench while veterans embarrass themselves on national television. He doesn't want to see Dylan Gabriel get gift-wrapped opportunities while he watches helplessly. He wants in. And if Cleveland won't give him that, then he's ready to take his talent somewhere else. And the timing of all this couldn't be more intriguing. Mary Kay Cabot, one of the most respected insiders covering the Browns, recently broke the news that Sanders is officially listed on the Browns' depth chart. That's not nothing. It means the organization acknowledges him as part of the quarterback room in a real way. Cabot went further, pointing out that Sanders has been electric on the scout team, turning heads with his playmaking and his leadership. Inside the walls of the Browns facility, the excitement around him is reaching new heights. Coaches, teammates, and staff are all buzzing about the potential he brings. The sense is that it's only a matter of time before he gets his chance. But here's the maddening part. Even after Joe Flacco's embarrassing meltdown in Detroit, even after Gabriel's struggles when he stepped in, the Browns still didn't give Sanders a single snap. They had the chance, they had the perfect opportunity to see what he could do under the lights. And they didn't take it. To Sanders, to his family, to his supporters, it's starting to feel like a slap in the face. How could Cleveland justify choosing Gabriel over him? How could they look at the tape, look at the performances, and conclude that Shador wasn't even worth a try? Fans are picking up on it too. Across social media, Browns faithful are questioning the coaching staff's judgment. Many are calling for the team to either play Sanders or release him, believing that keeping him on the sidelines is a waste of talent. And it's not just Browns fans who are speaking out. Around the league, fans from other teams are starting to see Sanders as a diamond in the rough. Someone being held back by a stubborn franchise that doesn't know how to develop young quarterbacks. Then came the twist that blew this story wide open. Reports began to surface that the San Francisco 49ers were monitoring Sanders closely. Their interest spiked after Brock Purdy went down with an injury. And suddenly, there was a potential opening for Shedeur in one of the league's most talented rosters. TalkSports even confirmed that the 49ers had Sanders on their radar. Imagine that: Shador Sanders running an offense stacked with weapons, with Kyle Shanahan calling plays designed to maximize his skill set. The possibilities had fans salivating, and Cleveland knew it too. But meanwhile, Kevin Stefanski has been forced to address the elephant in the room. After the Detroit game, his press conference revealed cracks in his composure. For the first time all season, Stefanski admitted that Sanders was in the running to start, possibly as early as Week 5. That was a bombshell. It was the first real acknowledgement that the Browns might finally be ready to hand Sanders the reins. But was Stefanski serious? Or was this just another delay tactic to keep Sanders from revolting completely? Adding to the drama, Stefanski didn't hold back when it came to criticizing Joe Flacco. He specifically pointed out Flacco's costly fumble and poor decision-making, essentially throwing his veteran quarterback under the bus in front of the media. For Sanders, hearing that had to be bittersweet. On one hand, it validated everything he'd been saying that Flacco wasn't good enough, and the Browns were hurting themselves by sticking with him. On the other hand, it was maddening. If the coach knew all of this, why wasn't Sanders already starting? Why was Cleveland still wasting time? And that's the heart of this saga. The Browns are at a crossroads. Their current approach clearly isn't working, and the longer they hesitate, the more pressure builds. Fans are restless, insiders are circling, and rival teams are sniffing around. Sanders has made it clear he won't settle for being a bench. He wants action. He wants a decision. And if Cleveland doesn't make the right call soon, they could lose him forever. The Dolphins have also been mentioned as a possible suitor, adding even more intrigue to the mix. Imagine Sanders taking his talents to Miami, a city with energy, excitement, and an offense that thrives on speed and creativity. The thought alone has already sparked debates online, with some fans saying the Browns would be foolish to let him walk into such a perfect situation. What's undeniable is that Shador Sanders has become one of the most talked about young players in the NFL without even starting a game. His confidence, his fire, and his willingness to speak his truth have set him apart. He's not just another backup waiting quietly for his turn. He's demanding it. He's forcing the conversation, and whether the Browns like it or not, the spotlight is on them now. As the clock ticks toward Week 5, the pressure is unbearable. Do the Browns stick with Joe Flacco, hoping against hope that he can pull it together? Do they double down on Dylan Gabriel, a move that would surely ignite more backlash? Or do they finally give Shador Sanders the chance he's been fighting for? The future of Cleveland football might just depend on that answer. And if they make the wrong choice, they won't just lose games, they might lose Sanders altogether. Because one thing is clear, Shedeur is done waiting. He's ready, he's confident, and he's not afraid to walk if he doesn't get what he deserves. Now it's your turn. Do you think the Browns should give Shador Sanders the starting role immediately, or should they stay patient and stick with their veterans? Do you believe he'd be better off in San Francisco, Miami, or another team entirely? Drop your thoughts below.